G'day, g'day. Karen Swain here from Sydney, Australia. Here to talk to you on this fabulous conference for the Alliance for Extraterrestrial Diplomatic Contact Conference for 2024. And the name of my talk today is Deliberate Creation, Evolving Human Consciousness. So how can we know ourselves as powerful, deliberate creators of our experience here on planet Earth and indeed our lives in general? And how does that dovetail with the evolution of humanity and meeting our cosmic star nation brothers and sisters? It's all really one conversation. I suppose many of you know who are watching this conference that the star nation existence or civilizations, other planets, many of them, most in fact, are far more evolved than the consciousness on planet Earth, and they have moved technologically and consciously far into another experience than we on planet Earth have at this time in our evolutionary process. And yet here we are having this conversation, both here and in other places across the planet, about meeting the Star Nation people, ETs, aliens as they have been called, and what does that mean for humanity and how do we do that? Well, I think a good reason why we haven't done it in the past is because of the evolution of our consciousness, because of who we are as humans. And many of the galactics look upon human society as a warring society, as divisive, and don't really want to be a part of it. Or if they do want to be a part of it, they're helping us evolve out of that feeling of separation we have in this experience, this third dimensional Earth experience, to each other, to our power, feeling separate to our power, feeling separate to love, feeling separate to the Earth, feeling separate to the beasts or the animals of this planet, feeling separate to the cosmos. That has been the experience here on planet Earth. As we have moved through time and space on this planet, we've experienced that illusion of separation from us, from me to my higher purpose, from me to love, from me to, some people would call it the creator, or to God, or the unified field of infinite possibilities. There's many names for it. But now we're moving ever closer to that feeling of unification with our true power, our true nature. And as we do, we become less warring, less divisive, less argumentative, if you like, and more unified and more loving and more intelligent and more expansive. And our psychic abilities come on tap and our telepathic abilities come on tap. And when that happens, we can move into a cosmic neighborhood with our star nation and galactic family. So how do we do that? How do we become genius, deliberate creators so that we can have closer contact with higher civilizations across the cosmos that already perceive us through their telepathic and psychic abilities? It's really very simple. For each and every person on the planet has within them a guidance system. All of us, everyone. People reach out to me as a teacher of deliberate creation and a psychic and a channel and a medium and all that good stuff. I've expanded those psychic and intuitive abilities. They reach out to me and they say, how can I speak to my spirit guides? How can I speak to my loved ones who have passed and are crossed over? How do I speak to galactic consciousness? How do I speak to my soul? How do I speak to my animals? How do I communicate with the earth? Maybe you're farmers or you're planting a veggie garden. How do you communicate with the insects of the earth? Please don't eat my vegetables. How do we communicate with consciousness? We're doing it all the time. We just don't realize we're doing it. The first thing is to take back our power to know that we are doing it. I am in communication with everything on the planet. I am in communion with everything on the planet. Whenever you have a thought about anything, you're instantly connected to that which you're thinking about. And the way you think about it has power in your life. So people reach out to me and say, I want to speak to my spirit guides. How do I do that? And each and every one of us, outside of this understanding that we have spiritual guidance or a spiritual soul family that are guiding us from other dimensions, we have within us an emotional guidance system. meaning that we are given information about the vibration we are evoking or carrying. And that information gives us awareness about how we are creating our lives. So that awareness is really powerful in being genius, deliberate creators of our reality. Many people here on earth get very swept up in their human emotions, feeling like their emotions are hurting them in some way or giving them ecstatic joy and pleasure, but it's happening because of the circumstances of their life rather than the power we have to evoke emotion or evoke frequency or vibration. And yet, life gives us the opportunity here in this third dimensional universe. It gives us the opportunity to bump up against contrast. Contrast to what? Contrast to the creator or the stream of pure positive energy, which is our true nature or our true source. The traumas, the problems in our life. It gives us the opportunity to experience those, and inside those traumas or problems, we have, whether it be an emotional problem or a relationship problem or a problem in our business or trying to overcome something, overcome an illness, or trying to create something, trying to create an online conference or a website or a movement. We have guidance within us, and everything in the cosmos is created through energy alignment. So how do we know that we are aligned energetically with that which we want to create? Whether it is health in our bodies, communication with our galactic brothers and sisters, our spirit guides, whether we want to create a movement, a business, or a relationship, or create a baby, or create anything, we have guidance through our emotions, because what we're believing to be true holds a frequency, holds a vibration, and we feel that vibration as emotion or feeling. So when we're thinking a thought, whether that thought feels good or bad, is our feedback to what we're doing with our energy. And energy creates, energy aligns. It's called the law of attraction. Like attracts like. Energy aligns. So when we're aware, take notice of how we're feeling, and we're aware of how we're feeling in the moment, we have in that moment the opportunity to change that vibration. Many people think that they don't. They're like, I'm feeling bad and you need to do something to make me feel better, or life needs to change in order to feel better. I'm feeling depressed or angry or despondent or disempowered, or I feel like I don't want to be here on this planet because I'm not from here. I'm from somewhere else where life is beautiful and this place is hard. There's, many excuses that we come up with for feeling bad on planet Earth. But in that moment of having awareness of how you feel, you have the ability to change how you feel. And that's simple, simply by changing what you believe, what you're believing in the moment. And if you want to do the deep dive, the personal growth work, then you start to look at and become aware of what you believe about yourself in general, what you believe about life, what you believe about what you're capable of, and then you set forth in changing those beliefs. Because we, as powerful, deliberate creators, have the ability to choose thought. And when we choose thought, when we choose belief, we can choose the vibration we emit. And when we change that vibration from a negative feeling or a bad feeling vibration or a frustrated feeling vibration or a vibration that feels out of alignment, then we move into alignment with that which we want. Everyone on the planet thinks that in the having of what they want, they'll feel good. So why do you want to change your body or change your life or change the world? Why do you want to be in contact with your Star Nation brothers and sisters? Everyone thinks that in getting what they want, in achieving their goals, in achieving their desires, they'll feel good. So when you take notice of what it is that you're looking for, vibrationally speaking, so I'm looking for that expansive feeling, that sense of wonder, that sense of community with the cosmos, that sense of otherworldliness, that sense of expansion, that sense of being on purpose. I'm looking for that feeling, that sense of achievement, that sense of success. I'm looking for happiness. I'm looking for love. all those things, all those desires, all those emotions and frequencies live within you, live within us, and we can evoke that. So, how do we evoke that? Well, you can think of a memory. You can think of something that happened that made you feel good. You can purposely go there. You can visualize a future of what you want and feel good. But the most potent and powerful way is to discover what it is that you're believing about yourself. That is a part of your hard drive, that is a part of your conditioning, that is a part of your programming, and change that. The work I do with my clients is closely related to the work Byron Katie does, and that is to challenge your stressful thinking, to challenge what you're believing in the moment. I feel like I can't have what I want. I feel like this is never going to happen. And then look at why you believe that. Is it true? Is it impossible? Is it really true? Because we get to create what we believe. Beautiful teacher who walked the planet for many years called Wayne Dyer. He's now in spirit, still inspiring us from the other side. Coined a phrase. Well, I don't know if he coined a phrase. He wrote a book. He coined the book. He titled the book, "You'll see it when you believe it." So most people don't get what they want because they don't believe it's possible. Not possible for the world, but possible for them. And one of the biggest beliefs that we have that stops us getting anything we want is the belief in unworthiness or in separation to that which you think that you can have. So that feeling of separation, separate to love. I think that everyone who's looking for anything is looking for that loving feeling. And what does that feeling of love feel like? It's that feeling of appreciation. Do I feel like I'm being appreciated? Do I feel like people appreciate me? Do I appreciate? So, one of the most amazing ways to get anything that you want is to give it. If you feel unworthy and unappreciated and not heard, it is to make somebody else feel worthy. Listen to somebody else, help them feel heard, help somebody else feel appreciated. And in doing that, you take back your power to also evoke that frequency or that emotion in your own life and move into energetic alignment with that which you're looking for. So when we do that, all the wars that are fought in the world are over somebody believing that they can't have what they want without violence, whether it is ownership of a piece of land or control over a group of people or control over resources. I don't know, what is it that people want? Governments that go to war, control over money. They believe that they don't want their money gone because of resources that somebody else controls that they can't give them to me. I mean, who knows what people fight over in this world? We do it a lot. There's lots of fighting. It all comes from a belief in lack and a belief in separateness to knowing you have the power to have what you want here, now, in this moment. If everybody felt loved and appreciated and connected to source energy, pure positive energy, would there be so much fighting and separation on planet Earth? I think not. I think that the solution to a more unified world is understanding that we are that which we're looking for. It is a spiritual solution. People have called it spiritual, not necessarily religious, but that we are connected to an immense stream of consciousness, of energy that flows to us and through us, that unifies us, that enables us to be powerful creators. Most of us don't feel like that. Most of us feel like life has to change in order for us to feel better or in order for us to get what I want. We say, okay, in order for me to get what I want, I have to change the circumstances of my life. I've got to change the lover, change the job, change the partner, change the house, change the city, change the circumstances so that I can feel better. That's actually being disempowered. Right here, right now, you can find something to appreciate, something to love, something to adore, something to be grateful for in your life, in your circumstances, where you are right now. One of the biggest challenges is that if you're dealing with huge trauma, loss, lack in some way, maybe it's lack of health, doctors might have given you a diagnosis saying you're about to die, and you say, I don't want to die, I want to stay alive. I can't find anything to appreciate because this terrible thing has happened to me. There's many ways that you can find things to appreciate, because this contrast, these traumas, these problems, these hurdles that we have to overcome in physical life, they don't happen to us, they happen for us. What are you gaining from the circumstances that you're living right now? How are you expanding your knowledge? How are you expanding your personal growth? How are you looking more inwardly and less outward at trying to change the world instead of changing yourself? You know, rock stars have sung songs about it. Michael Jackson, Man in the Mirror. Lots of people have sung songs about it. There's been guidance all over the world showing us our powers of being deliberate creations, more connected to our power and ability to manifest or be the powerful creators of our experience. Many people talk about the experiences that we have, both good and bad, as being out of our control. But when we reconnect more fully with our inner guidance, our inner being, or our soul's purpose, we realize that outside of our personality and ego's desires, you know, I want to be rich and happy and famous and, I don't know, fly spaceships and whatever we think we want to do, outside of the ego's desires to be happy and have an exciting life, the soul has desires to learn and to grow and to evolve. And so we design the challenges in our life to give us those experiences so that we can learn and grow and evolve. How do you know how strong you are if you've never had to use your strength? How do you know how agile you are if you've never had to solve a problem? How do you know how creative you are if you've not had to come up with creative solutions for, again, overcoming something or overcoming a problem? How do you know how loving you are until somebody is nasty to you and you maintain that loving stance? You can say to yourself, I'm a kind, happy, loving being, and then someone's rude to you in traffic and you're screaming at them and calling them names. You've just proved yourself wrong. Maybe you're not that kind and loving. But if someone is screaming at you in traffic and you give them a smile and a nod and say, oh, no, you're having a bad day, I'm still loving you, then you really know how loving you are. It's not when everything is going perfectly that you know exactly who you are and how you can grow and evolve and overcome and expand. So when you see the traumas that happen in your life or in our lives as global citizens, as Earth citizens, when we can see those as blessings rather than traumas, then we really take back our power to be the genius, creative, deliberate creatives, geniuses of our world. As a psychic and a medium and a channel, I've spoken to many forms of consciousness, including planetary consciousness, or galactic consciousness, I should say, off-world planetary consciousness, people that live on other planets. And they speak to me about this diplomatic communication with the humans, the Alliance for Extraterrestrial Diplomatic Contact. They speak to me about contact with humans. And they say that they're contacting us all the time and speaking to us telepathically all the time. And many people understand that, and many people don't. And some people who have grown up in religious households or with religious conditioning and ideology have this communication with an intelligence within their own mind and think of it as God or angels or spirit guides. And it could be off-world consciousness, intelligent consciousness, inspiring them with inventions and technology. Many of the scientists, the guides are saying pretty much, okay, all of the scientists on our planet that have had great breakthroughs in technology have been given that technology from off-world consciousness that is already utilizing that technology, and they've inspired their mind, inspired their search inspired the inventions that have come through and continue to inspire the minds of humanity. So we could be aware of that or not. But it's nice to be aware of who's talking to us and through us, isn't it? People say that there are evil extraterrestrials out there out to control the minds of humanity. But let me tell you, because of the lack of our deliberate creative powers and our focus and taking back our power of mind, extraterrestrials have complete dominion over the way we think already. So if they really wanted to control us, they could. Like many people who've had abduction stories talk about being put out just with thought and having their memories wiped just with the consciousness of the ETs that are interacting with them. They have this incredible power over the way humans think. And yet, for the most part, they leave us alone and let us think whatever we want to think because there is free will. We can choose to feel empowered or we can choose to feel limited. But when you do take back your power of focus and mind, yeah, you have the ability and the awareness of communicating with consciousness, not only within the planet, but off the planet too. There's a great scene. Oh, what's that movie called? I'm visualizing the scene of all the extraterrestrials meeting on the space station. And it's the beginning of this movie, and there are all these different types of life forms, and they get weirder and weirder as it goes on. Yeah, there is so much life out there to communicate with. Who are you communicating with? One of the things that the ETs say to me, the Star Nation family say to me, I speak to many different forms, the Syrians, the Palladians, the Arcturians, there's many different ones, the Arcturians mostly, is the way we think about divinity and God. The way the extraterrestrials think about it, they don't make it holy. I know we talk about God as an energy outside of ourselves, and in order to attain connection to it or talk to it, we have to be holy and good people and holier than thou and divine, all these words that we use as humans. Most extraterrestrial life forms, civilizations, understand that they are an extension of and connected to this infinite unified field of expanded consciousness and awareness that is just their default setting. It's just exactly who they are. And it's not revered as something special or different or outside of themselves. It's taking back that knowing that you are that energy, that you are connected to it, and that energy is you. It flows through you. Think about this human body that we're wearing. I think it's 300 trillion chemical reactions are going off in any moment, in any second, all orchestrating with each other in order for this human body to function, to create homeostasis. Even with what we do to it, we overeat and drink alcohol and pour pollution into it with our cars and environment and a lot of the pesticides in our food. And yeah, God, what we do to our human bodies, tell you what, we give them a really hard time. And the human body has this infinite intelligence within it that is constantly creating balance as we're not looking after them too well. And this intelligence we're wrapped in it. We're wearing it. We're wearing this unbelievable intelligence. That's the way I started to awaken to what we call God. I grew up in a secular family with no real religious background. I went to a convent for a while and listened to what they had to say with discernment and like, that makes sense, that doesn't make sense. And but didn't really take it on board as my belief system, just always questioning. But it wasn't until I was in my early 20s and I was studying anatomy and physiology and I was seeing the brilliance of the design of the human body and how intricate it was and how there were still so many holes that scientists and doctors had, unanswered questions that even with the brilliance of science today, well, that was like 30, 40 years ago, but anyway, they still didn't have answers to many questions about this physical human form that we're wearing. And the thought occurred to me, who designed this? Like, what intelligence designed this? And that's when I started thinking of an intelligence that was so beyond what was human intelligence that I started to think about that intelligence as what people call God. Well, this must be the God people are talking about, not some white dude sitting on a throne telling everybody what to do, but an intelligence beyond the beyond the beyond the beyond, that a creative intelligence. And we are an extension of that creative intelligence when we realize how to align to that energy. And we can do that right now. And it is simple. We can align by feeling good. What can you think about that feels good? What can you think about that feels expansive? What can you think about that gives you joy, that lights you up, that makes you feel lighter, that expands your knowledge? What can you believe? This is how we take back our power, knowing that we are that God force. It's not a force outside ourselves, that it flows through us. It's animating this body. It is this body, in fact. It is in the cell and molecules of everything that we deem as physical, in the leaves of a tree and in the cells of the animal and in the dirt of in the water of the oceans. That is this infinite intelligence that flows and sings together in harmony, the universe, and is working in this incredible way to create that reverence and awe for who we are, rather than seeking it outside of ourselves in some force or God that we have to feel like we have to pray to. That we take back our power knowing that we are connected. And knowing that we are connected, how can we utilize this flow of intelligent energy for the betterment of all? That we are all one song, universe, united verse. And when we work together and play our tune together in harmony with the rest of the chorus, we can create a magnificent world, a star nation family, a family connected to our star nation brothers and sisters, working together to create more and more exciting times here on planet Earth, and expansion and awareness. These are exciting times on planet Earth, and you have the power to make a huge difference in the world. The channelings of the Abraham Hicks, the Abraham Collective, say that one person, knowing their connection to the stream of pure positive energy, to that stream of consciousness that flows to you and through you, knowing that connection is more influential and more powerful than a million who are not. You can get out there in your anger and your frustration and scream about what you don't want and scream about what you do want. But if you're not feeling the alignment of what it is that you think you want, if you're not feeling that energy, like, why do I want it? I want to feel good. I want to feel at peace. I want to feel free. I want to feel connected. I want to feel in love. I want to feel on purpose. If you're not feeling that alignment with that emotion or that feeling, then you have no power of influence in your own personal life, or indeed on this planet, or in the cosmos in general. And our Star Nation families love us so very much and really are, gunning for us to take back that knowing of our powers of creation, that we can choose what we want to believe, we can choose what we want to feel, that we can choose the vibrational frequency within our very being. And in so doing, take back that power to become brilliant, genius, deliberate creators of our reality. And once again, become part of a galactic neighborhood, a galactic family that is traversing the cosmos. I look forward to seeing the day where they do land and the embassy is built and we have that connection, both physically and telepathically and psychically, in a more collective understanding on human Earth with our Star Nation neighbours, our galactic family. Thank you again for listening to my little talk. If you want to know more about me, you can go to karenswain.com. I'm a teacher of deliberate creation. I help you unravel all this, unravel the negative thought forms that are in a part of your programming, so that you can take back your power to feel more on point, more in alignment with your soul's purpose and why you came here. and to help you expand and be more aware of your psychic abilities and powers of creation. Thanks again for listening and watching. Big love to you all. Bye for now.